California's largest utility company is going under, and tonight we have live team coverage on what PG&E's bankruptcy means for its workers, its shareholders, and you, its customer.
I'm Spencer Christian. We have a week of stormy weather coming our way, especially in a couple of days. I'll have all the details coming up.
Trouble making rent, working 2 jobs, leaving for a new career. There's a teacher crisis in the Bay Area. All this week, ABC7 News is exploring the challenges and finding solutions because we are committed to building a better Bay Area.
Live where you live, this is ABC7 News.
The Bay Area is ground zero for what could be the biggest bankruptcy by a utility company in American history.
Unfortunately, I think we're all going to pay.
Amid a stack of looming wildfire-related lawsuits, PG&E says it's going to file Chapter 11.
Customers should not be concerned about turning on their lights. They should not be concerned about their gas.
What we need is a plan that is announced as soon as possible.
But is a plan from PG&E something we can rely on?
You can't trust what PG&E tells us, and you can't trust what they do.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amma Dates.
I'm Larry Beal. Pacific Gas and Electric has announced plans to file bankruptcy in 2 weeks, citing billions of dollars that it expects to pay out as a result of last year's devastating wildfires. And that raises so many questions, especially the effect on you, the ratepayer.
Yeah, we have team coverage tonight across the Bay Area because this affects so many people here. Let's begin with the I-Team's Dan Noyes. He's live in our newsroom. Dan.
Amma and Larry, the state had already arranged a bailout for costs of the 2017 wildfires. But when the numbers from last year's Camp Fire started adding up, PG&E decided bankruptcy was the only way out. In its Securities and Exchange Commission filings, PG&E estimates its liability from the 2017 and 2018 Northern California wildfires could exceed $30 billion, with significant fines and penalties possibly on top of that. So PG&E calls Chapter 11 bankruptcy the only viable option to address the company's responsibilities to its stakeholders. Our goal will be to work collaboratively to fairly balance the interests of our many constituents, including wildfire victims, customers, employees, creditors, shareholders, the financial community, and business partners, while creating a sustainable foundation for the delivery of safe service to our customers in the years ahead.
We've paid too much, and we've sacrificed too much because of this company.
Reaction coming in from across California. State Senator Jerry Hill is a longtime critic of PG&E. His district includes San Bruno, site of the 2010 PG&E natural gas pipeline explosion.
Bankruptcy may, and the restructuring and reorganization may be the way to change the culture that's necessary to get us a utility that will give us a safe and reliable utility at a reasonable rate.
This is a top priority for this administration.
This afternoon, Governor Gavin Newsom spoke about PG&E's bankruptcy filing, saying the utility has not been a trusted player, misleading regulators in the recent past.
I can assure you, when it comes to our engagement with PG&E, it's trust, but dare I say, verify. And let me underscore, verify.
PG&E said today it faces 700 lawsuits with 3,600 plaintiffs from the 2017 Northern California wildfires and 50 lawsuits on behalf of at least 2,000 plaintiffs related to the Camp Fire at this point.
I'm disappointed that they chose the bankruptcy route.
Frank Petrie represents hundreds of Camp Fire victims. He says the bankruptcy shouldn't affect the amount of money the utility eventually pays out.
My concern is one of delay. But I want to caution all those out there who are victims that this does not mean that they are not going to be treated fairly.
This is not a done deal. The notice PG&E sent today is an intent to file for Chapter 11. They have 2 weeks to come up with a business plan that does not involve bankruptcy. A small chance, but still a chance. Larry Amma.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. And PG&E stock has lost more than 80% of its value in the past 3 years. 2016 was actually a good year for the utility company. Then in 2017, its stock plummeted following the North Bay wildfires and lost more than a quarter of its value. In 2018, it lost almost half its value with a steep drop following the Camp Fire. Today, stock dropped in half again, closing just over 8. At its peak, PG&E stock was trading at 70 a share.
Cal Fire says PG&E started nearly all of the North Bay wildfires, which broke out on October the 8th, 2017. Combined, the fires burned more than 300 square miles, destroyed 8,900 buildings, and claimed 44 lives. ABC7 News reporter Wayne Friedman continuing our live team coverage. He's in Santa Rosa with reaction from wildfire survivors. Wayne?
Well, Larry, they're not surprised by it. In fact, they were somewhat expecting it, but not this soon. In Sonoma County, the firestorm neighborhoods are beginning to look better, but they still have a long way to go, and it may have just lengthened with PG&E threatening bankruptcy. It has not gone over well with fire victims who have already filed suit against the utility.
I think they certainly should have invested more in their fire protection services. They should have definitely invested more in their fire resiliency.
In Larkfield Estates, Brad Sherwood is still rebuilding the family home. Like many in Sonoma County, he is still waiting for CAL FIRE to file a final report.
It's been well over a year. We want to see the report.
Especially with PG&E facing legal action from thousands of victims. One reason why attorney Noreen Evans spent more time than usual today answering questions from plaintiffs.
And what I'm telling them is it's not the end of the lawsuit, that the lawsuit will still go on, but it may be removed into the bankruptcy court.
The list of people and agencies filing suit against PG&E includes Sonoma County itself.
As a publicly held company, is that there was accusations that you socialized the costs and you privatized the profits. And I think that's going to be something that's going to have to be dealt with.
The question, would a bankruptcy filing reduce the amounts of settlements? Not necessarily.
PG&E is a corporation with over $70 billion in assets. It has a guaranteed income stream that provides it over $1 billion in profit every year. PG&E has the assets and the means to pay its victims.
That's attorney Noreen Evans. We asked her to speculate what PG&E might be doing. She thinks they're looking for another way to deal with their debts, a restructuring. She also says the utility might simply be trying to encourage people to not sue. Live in Sonoma County, Wayne Friedman, ABC7 News.
Wayne, thank you. PG&E, of course, had a huge impact on the peninsula in 2010 when a gas pipeline exploded in San Bruno, killing 8 people and destroying dozens of homes. 2 years ago, the utility was convicted of 6 felony charges connected with that explosion. It was ordered to pay a $3 million fine and placed on 5 years probation.
This isn't the first time PG&E has filed for bankruptcy. It has turned to the courts and the sale of state bonds to recover before, and some are already forecasting the same could happen again. ABC7 News reporter David Louie joins us live from the South Bay with that part of our story. David.
Well, the 2001 bankruptcy had to do with a sudden surge in energy costs. A credit crunch resulted as a result of the bond ratings for PG&E being downgraded. Because of that, and because of knowledge from this earlier bankruptcy, there's concern the same thing may happen again this time, putting pressure on both shareholders, customers, and also the state. PG&E customers are still paying a charge on their monthly bill dating back to the utility company's 2001 bankruptcy. It's to pay off bonds sold by the state. Catherine Sandoval, a former state utilities commissioner, says it's because PG&E's credit took a hit by the bankruptcy.
The Department of Water Resources had to buy power for the state when, because of the PG&E bankruptcy and the downgraded credit for all the utilities, none of the utilities could buy power. So 19 years later, we're still paying for that.
The circumstances were different. The 2001 case was tied to market manipulation by Enron and others that led to a sharp rise in wholesale energy costs. However, in 2019, PG&E will still need to finance operations, including to pay suppliers of natural gas.
Could we be seeing a crunch in terms of commodity as early as mid-February, March, April? Certainly by May or June, as the cash runs out, we could be seeing a commodity problem.
The bankruptcy announcement comes just 3 weeks before San Jose prepares to launch its new clean energy service. The city will source the power, but PG&E plays a critical role. San Jose Clean Energy says it doesn't foresee any issues.
Everything is business as usual. They will continue to do all the services that they do for us today, metering, collection, and remittance of payment, as they have so far.
Catherine Sandoval is concerned glitches could impact many.
Even if you are a customer of a community choice aggregator, it doesn't insulate you from this problem because we all depend on the infrastructure.
Bankruptcy proceedings can take a long time to settle. The 2001 case took 2 years before they finally reached an agreement that spans a document that runs 57 pages. We're live in San Jose. David Louie, ABC7 News.
Thank you, David. And this bankruptcy could have a trickle-down effect on PG&E customers in the form of higher bills.
There's also a chance that 20,000 employees of PG&E could feel an impact. 7 on your side's Michael Finney looking into that part of the story.
Yeah, let's look at the immediate impact for consumers at your home right now. Well, you'll continue getting the gas and electricity the same way you always have. As for any impacts on the bills you pay, well, you could pay more and you could actually pay less. Well, history doesn't always repeat itself. We can learn a lot from the past. PG&E filed for bankruptcy in 2001. The utility had lost its credit. It did not have the money to purchase the energy needed to power the homes and businesses of its customers. So then Governor Gray Davis ordered the California Department of Water Resources to step in and purchase the power. Mark Toney of the Utility Reform Network says consumers are still paying for that purchase today.
The PG&E customers ended up paying about $6.5 billion for the power that was purchased on PG&E's behalf.
Look at your bill. The line item under DWR bond charge is a monthly fee you're still paying as a result. The history of the bankruptcy is better for PG&E employees. During the 2001 bankruptcy, the IBEW union tells us workers lost no pay nor benefits. The spokesperson called the risk of lost pay, retirement, and other benefits a low probability but high risk issue. It's one they remain concerned about. One employee who received a big windfall today is former CEO Geisha Williams. She resigned yesterday prior to the bankruptcy announcement. Bloomberg reports she received a severance between $2.3 and $4.46 million.
They're so broke, but they're still giving a $2.5 million golden parachute to a CEO whose tenure has been less than successful.
Now, if you're expecting a rebate from PG&E for insulating your home or purchasing an electric vehicle, that rebate should not be affected. Now, Turn says the company has dedicated revenue sources via customer rates, so you will get those rebates. Now, I want to hear from you. The 7 on Your Side hotline is up Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. The number is 415-954-8151. You can also reach me on my Facebook page and through ABC7news.com.
All right, thanks, Michael.
PG&E's bankruptcy is going to continue to generate questions, and we are committed to continuing coverage. You can find the stories we've already done, and there have been a bunch, online, on Twitter, on Facebook, and at ABC7news.com. And to find out when news breaks, download the ABC7 News app. That way you get the breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone.
Now to Storm Watch. Here's a live look from our Emeryville tower camera. A series of storms is going to soak the Bay Area this week, and they'll get stronger as the week goes on. ABC7 News was in Pacifica before the sun rose this morning, where powerful waves battered the Pacifica Pier. A high surf advisory will remain in effect until at least 9 tomorrow evening. ABC7 News weather anchor Spencer Christian is tracking this series of storms. Spencer.
Okay, Alma, we'll start with tonight's storm, which is a light one, ranking only one of the storm impact scale. Let's look at live Doppler 7. You can see that we have only scattered showers right now. The wettest weather at the moment is over in the East Bay between Antioch and Rio Vista, with a little area of moderate rain and a heavy downpour moving through San Jose right now near the intersection of highways 280 and 87. Let's take a look at our impact scale. This storm will continue to produce light scattered showers through tomorrow, with under half an inch of rainfall expected to measure over most of the Bay Area. But the big event is the strong storm coming in on Wednesday, which ranks 3 on the impact scale. I'll give you a closer look at its impacts in just a few minutes. Alma and Larry.
All right, thank you, Spencer. The federal government shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. The impact is wide-ranging.
Next, see how it's affecting the trial against Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos, charged with medical fraud.
A little more than 24 hours remain to sign up for health insurance through Covered California. And if you've decided not to, you're not alone.
Plus, teachers in California's biggest school district walk off the job. Their frustrations could spread to other parts of the state.